taking action for you. This morning on TV 20 Detroit starts right now.
I am Shantie D.
And I am Tia White.
And we're the White Girls. And you're watching Pulsebeat with Greg Dunmore. Oh my.
Dunmore.
Dunmore.
She got me
Dummy head.
Dummy head.
Pulsebeat.
What's happening in entertainment? From Tinseltown to the Big Apple, this is your weekly entertainment magazine with Greg Dunmore of Pulsebeat.tv.
Pulse of a new generation. Pulsebeat.tv.
Welcome to another edition of the National Association of Black Journalists Salute to Excellence, and award-winning and Emmy-nominated Pulsebeat with Greg Dunmore. On this Memorial Day weekend, Detroit is buzzing with what we do better than anybody, that's entertainment. And techno in Detroit is noted as being among the best on this planet Earth. Also, something that Detroit shines extremely bright is comedy, and we're standing in front of One Mic, which is one of the most important comedy clubs in these United States, and they're experiencing some controversy. So we're going to give you some insight on this controversy as we talk to One Mic CEO Kim Moore. But before we talk to her, we're going to talk to history-making comedian Shantie D and her daughter, and once again they're making history. So stay tuned on this very entertaining and buzz-worthy Pulsebeat with Greg Dunmore. Stay tuned.
Y'all put your hands together for the comedy styles of Shantie D.
What up? How the freak y'all feel, man? I want to cuss, but I'm trying to be saved. It's been rough. I'm telling y'all, I love being in LA. I'm from Detroit, born and raised. Thank you. A lot of people clutch their purse tight when I said Detroit. People be clutching their purse like we take lives, not purses. So it's rough in Detroit. But no, I'm talking junk. I love Detroit. I love where I'm from, born and raised. It made me who I am. It's rough out there in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that God hid me in plain sight of my enemies, and we're doing an interview like this.
Yeah.
So when I like, this is big, right?
Right. This is for TV 20, which is part of the ABC family.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you. First of all, I get to mention Joan Rivers and her daughter?
Yes, but that doesn't count.
You said why she? Why
Because her daughter isn't really a comedian.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize there should have been. I've never heard whore pit viper in my life before. So it's
whore pit viper.
Yes.
You know, just not
right
with a comma instead of a period.
It brought back memories of my husband and me.
Uh-huh.
And that was his way of making love. He'd say, whore pit viper, and I'd go, okay.
So they just was kind of crazy.
Right, so you and your daughter are the
Both
world's
comedians.
first mother and daughter.
Yes, the White gals.
The White. Tell us about that.
Both our last name is White.
Okay.
My late Tashanya White, Shantia White. I am the daughter of Willie Lee White. She is the granddaughter of Willie Lee White, and we are
The White Girl.
Yeah. It's I like it because it's gonna confuse some people. They gonna really watch it. They gonna be like, oh, it's some white gals coming, and they gonna get there and be like, wait a minute, and like, yeah, we the white girl. I'm not trying to teach you how to trick, but I don't want to watch you get tricked. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you gotta make it make sense. I mean, and if you make it make sense, then it can make dollars. And I'm not telling you to sell it, but I'm not gonna tell you to give it away. Okay, if you're gonna do it, honey, do it. Whatever you try to do in life, you do it. You hear me? You want to be a comedian? You be a comedian. You be the best comedian you can be. You understand? If you want to be a prostitute, let me say this. Don't. Oh, this one, the motivation. And so this show is funny, poetry, and praise. So she praise dance. I do poetry as well. Funny is spelled with a PH, meaning the pH balance, to represent what we're trying to do for people. So what we're doing is trying to get people to be able to balance their grief, because right now especially. We are in some very trying times. You know, we got a lot going on, and grief can really, really bring you down. There's a lot of people that don't know how to handle their grief. So that's why we do what we do. We let you come in and see what we go through. We're not perfect. The whole goal is to just bring some laughter and allow people to laugh at some of the stuff we go through, because that's the only way you're gonna win, is to keep it moving. Because a lot of people dealing with people dying, you know what I'm saying? And my goal is just to remind people that you gotta look up and live, because a lot of this stuff, grief is going to come with life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, as they say, music is an international language, but so is laughter. And
yes.
I was told that it's better to laugh than to take an aspirin. It's healthier for you, and it really is healing.
Good. Okay, is that what you heard? I gotta talk to my doctor.
That is scientific.
I gotta talk to my doctor, because he made me take an aspirin every day.
Introduce your daughter to our audience.
So this is my daughter, Shantie White.
Hello.
She goes by the name Tia White. So this is she's been my daughter for 31 years.
Lord Jesus.
And it's been a run. Right?
It's been a run.
Yeah, it's been a run.
Why has it been a run?
Well, apparently, I be saying she wants to be me. Because people be like, that's your mini me. And at first, I'm telling y'all, when she first started doing comedy, I was a little upset, because I did not, and it wasn't that I was hiding, you know, the world from her. I was hiding her from the world. You know, did I say that wrong?
Yeah, no,
okay,
you said it right. Drake said it just like that.
Drake said that? You just had to put that out there that Drake said it. So now you made me look like I just stole that from Drake. See what I'm saying?
Uh-oh.
As long as it ain't a joke, because there's some joke things out here.
Oh, now we really tripping.
Now, although you two look like sisters, she's the younger white girl. So I want you to say something about the more seasoned white girl who's never given you grief.
I call her the Sexy Red of comedy, and I don't know if people know who Sexy Red is, but here's the kicker. She's changed so much in the last year, because when she first started, she snuck into comedy. She didn't even tell me. And people were calling me like, you know, your daughter's doing comedy. I was like, absolutely could not. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why she tried to hide it from me, because I eventually had to tell her, like, how do you hide comedy from me? Like, Brody? Is it Bronny or Brody? What's LeBron's?
Two of the hottest stories in the world would center around these two noted Americans. The #1 story of 2024 was about P. Diddy, and so I want you to both say something that we need to know coming from your perspective concerning Sean P. Diddy Combs.
I didn't know it was that much baby oil in the world.
She would say that. She would say that. I don't need that microphone. I have my own microphone. See, that's what seasoned people get. They get their own microphone. You new people, y'all got to share that microphone for a minute.
Old spaghetti.
So your take on Sean P. Diddy Combs?
It get better.
Mind your business. Worry about yourself. You know, and that's pretty much where I'm at, because you can't get caught up in what you hear on the social media sites. It's just so many fake stories. I don't really know. I pray for everybody's soul. You know, I pray we all be ready. That's what I pray for, you know. And if he did do some of these terrible things that they said, I just pray that God forgive him, you know, because it's terrible. Like, but you know, they did the same thing with T.D. Jakes, you know. Like, soon as you heard a rumor about him, you seen people start doing all this video, get ready, get ready, get ready. And then you ever been swallowed. And I had to tell people, you know, Jonah is who he was speaking of. Like, why? Like, so social media will take stuff a little bit too far. I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know. But I do know that it's rough out there in Hollywood. We actually about to get ready to go on tour as a mother and daughter.
As a history-making team.
Yeah, history-making team. I love it.
So, what is the secret to being funny?
She wanted to be a stripper, but...
Before we leave, one secret to laughter.
Do it. That's the biggest secret. Do it. Laugh. Laugh at what the enemy tried to bring up against you. Yeah. Laugh at the things you lost. You know, laugh at it. I laugh when people cut me off. Like, you know, because people be having road rage, but I'll just laugh. People cut me off and I'll just laugh. Be like, no, she knows. She already, that's why she got that dent in the back of her car now. Yeah. And so I'll laugh. Okay? Just laugh to keep from crying.
So let's see. Music is the international language. So is laughter, and so is a hug. Let me see you two hug. Mother and daughter.
Oh, thank you.
Look, she had to get in there. I'm not trying to teach you how to trick, but I don't want to watch you get tricked. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you got to make it make sense. I mean, and if you make it make sense, then it can make dollars. And not telling you to sell it. But I'm not going to tell you to give it away.
Pulsebeat. If you like what we're doing, please tell a friend, or if you want to see what we've done again, go to pulsebeatglobal.com. That's PULSEBEATGLOBAL.com. You can also go to our Pulsebeat TV YouTube channel and you can revisit what we're doing. And once again, you can tell everybody that we're doing something that is so exciting that they wouldn't want to miss it. Remember PulsebeatGlobal.com or the YouTube channel Pulsebeat TV. Thanks for telling the world about us.
All aboard!
There's a new way to travel, and it's one of the oldest forms of transportation. Travel by train. Yes, consider traveling around the United States on Amtrak. Traveling by train is a lot less of a headache than taking a plane, and you'd be surprised how many places you can go on an Amtrak. And there's no passports or IDs needed. Find out how to get where you're going as soon as tomorrow by train. Call the Amtrak Travel Hotline right now. We'll book your trip and email your tickets within minutes. Skip the drive to the airport and skip the lines. Call right now to book your Amtrak reservations. We service most of the United States. Do something new. Travel by Amtrak today. Find out how to get where you're going as soon as tomorrow by train. Call the Amtrak Travel Hotline right now.
Call 855-827-5004. That's 855-827-5004. Again, 855-827-5004.
Pulsebeat. As we're standing in front of the iconic One Mic Comedy Club, one of the best in the country, they're experiencing, well, a little controversy. So we're going to talk to Kim Moore, One Mic's CEO, and we're going to get to the bottom of what is become a national story of interest. Jessica Moore, better known as Jess Hilarious, is an American comedian and actress best known for her raw humor and videos on Instagram series Jess with the Mess, and for being one of the co-hosts of the nationally syndicated morning radio show The Breakfast Club. Shortly after high school in Baltimore, Maryland, where she was born and raised, she began making her comedic viral videos. Her fearless roasting style earned her the title Roast Queen from Nick Cannon himself, who later brought her on MTV and VH1's Wildin' Out. But it didn't stop there. Comedy legend Martin Lawrence and Russell Simmons saw her potential and also gave her a spot on their stages. But her biggest break so far is the Breakfast Club spotlight that has given her an audience of millions with a platform that also comes with fame and fortune. Hilarious to some and messy to others, Jess has made a name for herself, and depending on whether you like her or not, might determine just what that name would be. We're at One Mic, one of the largest comedy clubs in these United States.
My name is Kimberly Moore, and I am the CEO of One Mic Detroit. I help to develop what you see here in downtown Detroit, and every day bringing great talent to the citizens of Detroit.
Recently, Jess Hilarious, also known as Jess with the Mess, recently appeared at One Mic, and she said she loves Detroit and her fans, but was handled terribly by One Mic.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that she feels that she was handled terribly. Wasn't aware until I started receiving text messages and, snippets from her show that she even felt that way.
I was handled terribly at One Mic Comedy Club, and I'm upset for myself and quite frankly for my fans too.
Would have appreciated her reaching out directly to say exactly what the negative aspect to her experience was, but we didn't get that opportunity.
And she also said that she was told that Damon Wayans was there and he was not.
Prior to me going, they told me that Damon Wayans was there. only for me to get there, right, and see that it was Damon Williams.
Shut up.
I swear to God, I don't know no damn Damon Williams, and I'm sorry, sir, you might be a fine comedian, but I don't know you. They said Damon Wayans.
Now, that would spark a rally amongst stand-up comedians around the country, including Cedric the Entertainer, her former co-star Lil Rel, and Guy Torry to defend Williams. Many veteran comedians would identify Williams as a Chicago stand-up legend. Cedric the Entertainer would show support with Williams by making a few jokes at Jess's expense and posting the video on his social media, where Williams would reshare on his own Instagram.
I swear to God, I do know Damon Williams. I swear to God, I probably don't know 3 people that don't know Damon Williams. Who the
like Sean Larkins and Steve Brown were other comedians who would also join in by saying they know who Damon Williams is and told several jokes about how long they've known him. Lil Rel, who said he typically avoids internet drama, also shared his feelings on social media in support of Williams. He would also express his disappointment in Jess to how dismissive she appeared when mentioning the Chicago legend's name.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Lil Rel, and about to get my morning workout on. But I wanted to talk about something just real quick. For me, it's like, I've been staying out the way. If anybody noticed, I'll be out the way because I don't be like dealing with internet drama and drama in general. But, Jess Hilarious, who I love and is amazing, I'm so proud of. I just didn't like the dismissiveness of who is a Damon Williams? And, saying that she thought it was Damon Wayans. That was just wasn't cool because there wasn't really no reason to bring him up, to be quite honest with you.
Williams would share this on his Instagram page as well. Now, Damon Williams would also share Guy Torry's response on his Instagram page. Torry would take time to list several of Williams' credits, which include Tom Joyner, Def Comedy Jam, Comic View, and more. Now, in addition to posting responses from several of his peers defending him, Williams would also respond himself by posting a brief remix of Jess saying she doesn't know who he is.
Swear to God, I don't know no damn Damon Williams. Swear to God, I don't know no damn Damon Williams. Swear to God, I don't know no damn Damon Williams. Sorry, sir, you might be a fine comedian, but I don't know you.
In between were photos of himself and Jess at a comedy show they performed at together. It seems like many online comedians and users would take issue with Jess' lack of comedy history, as several social media users would also join in. One user would go on to write, Damon Williams is a very well-known, lauded comedian from Chicago that performs all around the world. Also has done radio for the Tom Joyner Morning Show. Shame on you for not knowing him, and sigh that you said it in that tone of voice. While another local comedian would write, my thing is, how you a comedian and don't know Damon Williams? Shaking my head, we gotta do better. Now, outside of the Damon Williams dispute, Mike Epps has not responded to any of the conversation regarding Jess's frustration and the One Mic Comedy Club in Detroit.
So I'm not sure who told her that. I never had any conversations with Jess Hilarious, only her 2 people that represented themselves to me as her manager. And one of them was her husband, Chris, and then another young lady that I spoke with named Desiree. So I never had a conversation with Jess about Damon Wayans or Damon Williams or anything of that sort.
And she also said that everybody claims to be the owner and selling brunch tickets for $90 instead of the $50 that she had requested the tickets to be sold for. She called that stupid, and she called you a dumbass.
Pulsebeat. You ready to put your podcast on iHeartRadio? Yes, your podcast on iHeartRadio. What about Alexa, Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, Android, or iPhone? Plus live TV streaming. Get your podcast seen and heard all over the world. Call 313-868-6612. Pre-recorded shows are accepted to be archived. This is a WHPR distribution platform. Download the app from the App Store. Go to WHPRTV.com. Channels available for lease 24/7 on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV. Coming soon, subscription and pay-per-view.
Also,
Block time is available. Get yours. Call 313-868-6612. That's 313-868-6612. Executive producer RJ Watkins. Program director Henry Tyler. 107.5 FM WGPR HD2. Radio we can see.com.
What if you could make a free phone call and reduce your car payment by as much as $83 a month? Right now, you could be paying as high as 20% interest. Your new interest rate could be reduced to as low as 2.48%. You can refinance any existing car loan or leased car and save money every month. Take 5 minutes of your time right now. Make this free phone call and learn how to save hundreds of dollars a year by refinancing your existing car loan.
Pulsebeat. Everybody claimed that they're the owner, right? The manager who claimed to be the owner first, her name is Kimberly Moore. She originally did the deal and tried to change the terms many times after the deal was already done. So it's supposed to have been 3 shows. When I saw the tickets was selling for every show but the brunch, I went and I seen that she was selling the tickets for $90. Like, are you stupid? Per the deal that I signed off on, all tickets were supposed to be sold at $50. So I told her to pull me from the brunch. She canceled altogether because she had no selling point. Trying to make extra money on the side, that don't work with me. Like, why would you try to make an extra $40 on the side? Then it's Mother's Day. That's why they're not selling, dumbass.
So first, the 3 shows that we booked with Jess were clearly outlined in our agreement. One of them was in fact a brunch. You can't usually have a brunch show without brunch. So there was an additional amount added to that ticket that her team was aware of even before the tickets went on sale. We spelled out that the base ticket was $50 and that there was going to be a brunch added, and that cost was $35. That was spelled out. Everyone knew that that was happening. I don't think it was dumb. I think what we were trying to create was a VIP experience. Most comedy shows don't happen at 11 o'clock in the afternoon. So we wanted to give those ticket holders something special. So not only did it include an all-you-can-eat brunch, it included cocktails. It was a very nice event. Unfortunately, what happened was that by Tuesday, before Jess's scheduled performance, we had only sold about 50 tickets to that event. And her management said that she was dissatisfied at the low ticket sales and requested that we cancel the show. I offered many remedies to that, including capping the amount of tickets we sold at that point and issuing just a $50 ticket for people to purchase. But subsequently, they decided to cancel, and we allowed them to do that with no penalty.
And she also said that your the writer that she requested was not honored, and she called you a cheap, lazy ass.
So every performer has a writer. A writer is the list of things requested by the performer that's supposed to be in the green room when you get there. Nothing from my writer was honored but 3 bottles of liquor. When I communicated this to Kim, she lied and said that my writer was never sent from my manager. But how wasn't my writer sent from the manager when you knew what type of liquor to get me? That was just the easiest for your cheap, lazy ass to do because they right behind the bar.
First of all, I requested the writer several times, and I have that in text messages where it was requested more than once. When I finally received the writer, it was Saturday, the day of the show, at approximately 11:45 in the morning. And so I replied back by 11:59, and I said, we're able to accommodate these items, but these other items listed under accessories, we are not going to be able to provide, as I am just receiving this request today. So it was items like a space heater and fur slippers and a plush blanket and dozens of color-specific roses. We just could not assemble those items. We definitely try to accommodate writers with, whatever the requests are, but we could not with only 6 hours to prepare for her show. And so I let her management know that we could not provide those items specifically, but that everything else would be in her dressing room. And the reply that I received from management was thanks.
She also said that you tried to shut down the meet and greet by someone who said that he was both an owner and then he said he was a police officer.
So I can't speak to a conversation that she had with someone where I was not present. What I do know is that when Jess arrived at One Mic early afternoon, about 1 o'clock or so on Saturday, that was the first time that I learned and my team learned about a meet and greet. We had already hired and assembled the security we needed for the event. And generally when we have meet and greets, they will require additional security. But I was happy to accommodate the meet and greet, did not have a problem with her hosting a meet and greet. What ended up happening is that her team wanted security to help coordinate certain aspects of the meet and greet. And that is outside of their job responsibility. And so that is what I know was communicated. That's the part of the conversation that I witnessed. But if there was another conversation with her and her team, I wasn't there for. So there's also parts in her conversation on the Breakfast Club where she said, I looked her husband in the eye and she wanted to punch me in my face. I never saw Jess again after her 1 o'clock stop in One Mic to look at the venue. So there was never an opportunity for her to punch me because I never saw her again for the rest of the day.
And to be a little more detailed about the quote, she said, I wanted to punch her fat ass right in her face.
She did say that.
Kim comes over. This is the person that we've been doing a deal with the whole time. She looks right in my husband's eye, yo, and she says, we never signed off on a meet and greet. We never even knew she was doing this. We can't do this. It's getting too late. It's after 12 o'clock. We can't do this. I wanted to punch her fat ass right in her face, yo, like, lied. How do you lie?
And yeah, that hurt. She said other things where she called me lazy, she called me dumb, she called me stupid. And of all of this, that is the part that, you know, if anything bothered me about the things that she said, it was those things, because I knew what we had done as a company and what we had not done. And I knew that I had receipts and email correspondence and text messages for everything that she said, and that could be disputed with those documents. But as a Black woman, as a mother of two, I have a daughter and a son just like she does, as a business owner, that hurt that she would use those kinds of derogatory remarks about me. You know, body shaming is terrible. And I know that she's been a victim of that. So yeah, that she would victimize someone else is shameful and hurtful. You know, I am fat, but I'm not lazy. I work 15 hours a day, nearly 7 days a week at One Mic, all while battling cancer. So that part hurt.
You and your club and your team are involved in the magic of laughter, so continued success on everything that you do. The best is certainly something that you define by the excellence that you have brought to your management, in my opinion, of One Mic. Thank you, Kim Moore.
Thank you.
Did we bring it on this episode of Pulsebeat with Greg Dunmore? And how do you feel about this story? And if you got something hot and happening, we need to hear it from who? From you. So go to our website, pulsebeatglobal.com. That's PULSEBEATGLOBAL.com, and let us know how you feel and what we need to know. Thanks so much for watching. Until next week, Pulsebeat.